Yo, what's cracking, fellas? It's Vega. I am in the backyard at my mom's house right now, just hanging out. Figured this would be a nice little change of pace. Today, I wanted to talk about one of my favorite releases of this year, Arizona Baby by Kevin Abstract. I briefly touched on it in one of my last videos, but basically that album came out while I was in Pittsburgh with my friends for a show, and it did a lot in making me realize some stuff. I listened to it on my flight to Pittsburgh, and it just things were happening in my brain, and I was like, and I'd been in a funk before this, and this album really just kind of helped to bring me up out of that, talking with my body. Yeah. And so basically this album helped me realize that I wanted to uproot my life and move to Pittsburgh, because it all just kind of happened at the same time. I went to Pittsburgh. I had that epiphany moment where I was like, I want to live here. I think it'd be good for me to live here. And this album soundtracked that whole experience. Basically, he just kind of spoke through his issues of life and family and friendships and feeling like other people depended on him so much, and that he needed to care more about the people that surrounded him than caring about himself. And I'd be feeling like that. I'd be like, I need to be here for other people. This is not about me. And this that trip made me be like, no, I need to think about myself and what's best for me, and it's not selfish. It's what I need to do now as an adult, because that's what adults do, And in Georgia, he's like, I left my troubled home. Hollywood, what the fuck am I doing? And basically, I left my home to go to college. I mean, I stayed in Indiana, but I left and was an hour or so away, and it's kind of I left, I got away from all that. It lifted something off my shoulders. But as it turns out, that was not enough, and it was just a temporary fleeting feeling for me to be oh, I left. But then it was what the fuck am I doing here? Why am I at a college I don't necessarily want to be at? I wanted to be there at one point, but it became why am I somewhere I don't want to be? Why am I getting a degree for something I don't want to do? Why am I wasting time and not pursuing my passions and stuff? It's kind of okay, I got out, but what the fuck am I doing now? And that line hits every time. That's my tear up in the shower kind of line. Every time I listen to it, I just get oh, gets me. And in Corpus Christi, when he's when I think about me, I barely think about me. I think about the people that surround me. And he's at what point do I do it for myself instead of thinking about the set? It's kind of when I was in therapy, I'm not anymore. Basically, I was in therapy, and the example here is that my therapist was tell me about yourself, and I would tell stories, and it would divulge into me talking about my family members or my friends. And she literally looked at me and she was seems like when I tell you to talk about yourself, you talk about everyone else. And it's because that's just what my brain does. I think when I think about myself, I think about everyone else instead, it's I'm thinking, it's it'll go, oh, me, but then it's oh, my family, oh, my friends, everyone else. And it's I didn't I didn't realize. But when I heard that line, I was that's me. Shit, dog. And then yeah, he's at what point do I do it for myself? Because I haven't been going to college for myself. I moved out partially for myself, but it was I'm mostly thinking about the set. I'm thinking about everybody else. I'm my family wants me to go to college. My friends need a roommate. All that shit, And, yeah. And then in Crumble, he's I'm my brother's keeper, let these demons show. And it's I feel very responsible for my family. I have a younger brother, and I have a bunch of older brothers, but specifically next in line to me, it's Jeremy, me, and then Cody. I feel I'm their keeper, and that I have to stay to make sure that they're good. Which, like I said, this trip that I took just like lifted all that away, and I was like still thinking about them, obviously, because that's just how that works. Like, I can't not do that. But it's like I'm their keeper, and we've been through some shit, so like let those demons show. So yeah. And then there's just songs like Mississippi and Peach. Peach owns my heart, that song. And it's like I listened to all these songs with my friends in the car while we were all together, and it kind of just made me be like, oh shit, I need to go and do this shit for myself. Like, it's time for me to put me first, and it's time for me to feel like I'm not being selfish and not feel guilty, and for me to move on with my life, you know? Just like, and that project just, it means a lot to me personally, and it may or may not be my album of the year. I know there's more releases coming, and I know Brockhampton hasn't even released their album yet, but so far, in terms of like, it's not in terms of how well produced is it, how good is it, how blah blah blah, even though all those things apply, it's like that's my album of the year just because of how close it is to me and my life and my experience and stuff. So, and then Peach is my song of the year just because how could you not love it? It's Dominic Fike, Bareface, Joba, Kevin. It's just an incredible fucking song. I really just, it gives me that like feeling inside, and then I associate that with that trip and with my friends, and it's kind of like our song, you know, as like corny as that fucking sounds. Like, I love my friends and I love that song, and we all like latched onto it, and we're like, you know, it's just like that. And then Mississippi, just every time it comes on, it's that like, these are songs I can't skip. Like, literally every time Peach comes on, I don't skip it. Every time Mississippi comes on, I don't skip it, because it's like, it just makes me feel all fuzzy inside. I'm like, oh, you know? And that's basically it. This is as well spoken as I'm ever gonna get. So, yeah. I just wanted to talk about this because I really fucking like this album. And if by some chance you haven't heard it, please go listen to it. It's so good. And Kevin is deserving of this support and deserving of literally fucking everything. He's such a dope person. Yeah. Thank you for sticking around and watching. Hope you enjoyed watching me babble. I'll be back eventually. My upload schedule is weird because now that I'm back home in my transition to Pittsburgh, it's like, I don't know when I'm gonna get to film because my family's all up my ass. I don't know where I'm gonna film. Peace out. I'll see you later. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.